Hello. Guess who I have here today? This is exciting. This was a long time coming. I'm excited we got to coordinate this.
Got to coordinate.
So I have with me today Missy Bolden. Missy Bolden is an on-air personality with Urban One Media. She has a weekend show called, on Saturday, it's Nights with Missy B. And on Sunday, it's called Brunch with Missy B. Mm-hmm. She has a podcast called
On the Mic with Missy B.
On the Mic with Missy B. And you can listen to her on the weekends on Joy 107.1, Columbus's inspirational station.
Yep.
So let's get into it. Let's have some conversation with Missy B. So Missy, are you from Columbus, Ohio?
I am not.
Okay.
I am originally from Los Angeles.
Oh.
Born in Los Angeles, raised in Inglewood, moved to Ohio for high school.
Okay.
I went to East High School. Go Tigers.
Oh, goodness.
Third generation to graduate from East High School, so we do this whole Tiger Pride thing. And a graduate of the Ohio State University.
Very good. Wow, very good. So what made you want to stay in Columbus, Ohio?
So, I'll be honest. I got a really good opportunity at OSU, and with my mom being a single mom, my older sister was pursuing her dreams in Chicago, and it just financially made sense for me to go to Ohio State. They gave me a really good academic package, and so it was going to just be very expensive to go out of state at that time, so I went to OSU. Good decision.
Very good. Very good. Now, you mentioned your mom and your sister and so forth. Do you guys have a tight family?
We are tight. My sister lives abroad. She lives in the UK,
oh, wow.
But we are very close. It's just my sister and I on this side. We actually have, some folks a little bit everywhere. We claim everybody.
Got it.
But it's just my sister and I with my mom. And, it's just kind of always been us. But my sister is a model. And she left Columbus after being here for 2 years, went on to New York, went to school in Chicago, has been doing her thing modeling, and now lives abroad with her family. So it's just my mom and I here now.
Very good. Very good. So your sister is a model?
She is. Well, she's kind of doing the mom thing, and she has a business venture now called A Crown of Curls. But that's what she did for many years.
I see. So are you an auntie?
I am an auntie. I have a niece and a nephew, Deron and Deora, living their best London life.
I see.
With the London accent.
Very good. That's awesome. That's awesome. So let's get to the good stuff. The good stuff. Not like that wasn't the good stuff, but let's find out how you got into radio.
Okay, so to be honest, radio really wasn't my first love. My first love was television. I wanted to replace Joan Rivers on the red carpet. I was the kid glued to the Oscars, glued to the Emmys, brushing my hand instead of singing. I was interviewing people. And so I really wanted to do television, but I got an internship with CBS News in New York.
Wow.
And I had a great opportunity there working with the early show and with 106 in Park, which is owned by Viacom. So it was still a part of the CBS network. And the year I graduated from OSU is when the economy took a turn in 2008. So lots of businesses were letting people go. At that time, I had been working for Radio 1 for 1 year. And I just was a little nervous to uproot and go to New York to pursue television because they had so many layoffs. So I was like, I'm kind of already here at Radio 1. I started out in promotions. Let me kind of see how I can get my footing here. And I kind of just grew a love for radio.
Wow. And this all happened at the age of when?
How old was I when I got with Radio 1? 25?
You were
ish.
That's pretty impressive for somebody that young, scouting all that and figuring all that out at that age. I'm impressed.
Well, I try to do what I can.
Okay, very good. Very good. So tell us about this awesome podcast as well.
On the Mic with Missy B, I call it Keeping It Real and Keeping It Holy from a woman's perspective.
Nice.
And I really just want to talk to people in the city who I feel like are either movers and shakers, people who have businesses, or just something to really offer to our listeners.
Very good.
Our demographic on Joy is primarily women 35 and over.
Oh, wow.
So I really try to talk about health issues affecting Black women, anything around finance, anything around just a holistic approach to living your best life.
Oh, wow.
And then a little bit of controversy because, I mean, that's just what it is. Things come up. And so we got to talk about it.
Yes. Speaking of the controversy, Missy has no filter sometimes. She will speak it, and it's wonderful. And I am curious what got you that confidence to be able to go out there and say certain things. Speaking of, our current president, issues that are going on, I'm just curious.
I'm going to be honest. I grew up in a household where it was okay to speak your mind.
Oh.
As long as you weren't being disrespectful.
Sure.
My mom kind of welcomed dialogue, conversation, allowing us to have a platform to kind of just talk about how we feel.
Sure.
So I kind of come from that family of all the women speaking their mind and just being like, this is what it is.
That's good. That's real good, actually.
I feel like it's been good at some times, and then other times you kind of get labeled as, you're too direct, or you'll just say anything, and, oh, that hurt my feelings.
No.
And I think sometimes people confuse being direct with being mean.
I see.
I try not to be mean, but I'm going to always try to tell the truth.
Right.
In love.
Well, we love it. We love it. Please don't change. We love it. So I would like to talk about iGirl.
Okay. So iGirl is a nonprofit girl empowerment program that I started with Essence Marsh. We co-founded iGirl in 2014. We work with girls ages 9 through 17.
Nice.
We focus on mentoring and confidence, and we really just want to make sure that girls understand that everything starts with them.
That's nice.
And then from the inside out. So how they see the world, the choices they should be making. So we're just gearing up. We just had our sign up day, and we had our first event last week or 2 weeks ago. And we just we're getting our girls together for 2019. Oh. Our word for this year is change.
Okay.
So everything we do is talking about change, embracing change. Change is coming anyway. Mm-hmm. Wanting girls to get to a place where you are welcoming change.
That's nice.
Because you can't stop it.
Correct.
A lot of times it comes when you're not ready. Correct. And so it's just important to know that it's coming and trying to get them some tools to be able to navigate and change.
That's really good. That's really good. I'm really proud of you with iGirl.
Thank you.
Very good. And you said it's been going on how long? 2014.
2014. Mm-hmm.
Very good. Very good. So, you have had the privilege of covering BET Hip Hop Awards, the Essence Festival, Dove Awards, and the Stellar Awards. Mm-hmm. Now, you will be currently going to the Stellar Awards. I think this is your third time?
Yes.
Soon.
March 27th, I leave, but it airs. Well, we tape it March 29th. It'll air later, but I'll be posting, so March 29th.
Sure. So this is exciting and an honor to be able to go to these type of events.
It is. It's fun. It's work. But it is fun. And when you're a part of the industry and you're playing the music and you're blogging about the artist, sure, it's really fun when you get a chance to meet them and talk to them and hear their journey and hear how these songs came about. Sure. And, just being able to tell them how much it's ministered to me. I spend my weekends listening to those songs and listening to that music. So for me, I kind of feel like we already cool.
Right.
So by the time we meet each other, it's like, hey, touch it off, girl, how you doing?
Right. So any of the stars that you've met and any of those things that I had mentioned, have any of them been role models for you or kind of intimidating? Have you ever had any kind of a moment you're like, oh my gosh, that person's blah, blah, blah?
I will be honest. I have not met anyone where I was kind of like, ooh, I didn't expect you to be that way.
Okay.
But someone I wanted to meet so bad was CeCe Winans.
Okay.
And I met her at the Essence Festival. So not this past Essence, the year before.
Right.
And I specifically saw her name on press, so I wanted to make sure I was there. I was there early. Everything they told me, her people decided to have her do press early. Oh. So she was already gone. Oh. So I walk away. I'm super sad. I'm almost in a full moping funk. Oh, and then I happen to look up and she's just walking by, literally walking by. So I just went up to her and had this whole thing okay, wait, hold on. So addictive love. Right. And so she was so gracious.
Really?
So cool. And she ended up being on my flight back home.
Shut up.
Told me about a concert she was going to be doing in Dayton. Went to Dayton and saw her. She was absolutely amazing. I'm telling you, if you ever meet CeCe Winans, I think you're going to feel the Holy Spirit. Wow. I felt like she was an angel for real.
Wow.
Like just hugging her and being in her presence, I felt the Lord all over her.
Oh, wow.
Definitely great opportunity to meet people that you look up to.
Sure.
And it's always a treat when they're actually cool. Like she was like, what? I love you. What is it?
Oh,
I couldn't even really get it out. I was like, hold on. Let me get to it. Give me a second.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's
Where
awesome.
BB?
Right. Right. Well, speaking of people looking up to you, you are a role model to a lot of women here in Columbus, Ohio. You really are. And so you have, and not just here in Columbus, Ohio, a lot of people that follow you. You have other followers outside of Columbus, Ohio, too. So do you feel like, that's a lot of pressure on you? Because a lot of people look up to you. Like your Facebooks, your social media posts are strategic. I noticed that. Mm-hmm. And so everything you keep it 100, mm-hmm. but you also keep it faith-filled, and you keep it, you just keep it 100. And so do you feel that type of pressure on you as a role model here?
I do. I feel like there's pressure just being a woman. I feel like there's pressure being a Black woman. And I feel like there's pressure being a Christian Black woman. So I think you're constantly just under the microscope just because, and I think just even more so when you're considered a public figure. I don't necessarily, go through life like, oh, people are watching me. But at the same time, I am very mindful of how I respond, yes. what I say, yes. how I dress, how I carry myself around married men. Mm-hmm. There are just things that as a single woman, you have to be mindful of. As a believer, you have to be mindful of. But at the same time, I don't want to be in a box. Like, I don't want to be a person who feels like I got to wear a muumuu when I go somewhere because I'm saved. Or, I can't really say how I feel about something because I don't want this person to think that or the other. I really believe the greatest thing about Christianity is freedom in Him, freedom in Christ. So I'm gonna be free.
Very good.
But very mindful of, how I carry myself, and just that I'm a reflection of where I come from, how I've been raised. My big thing is I don't need nobody running to my mom being like, now let me tell you what Missy was out here doing. I don't want to let her down more than anybody outside of God. So I'm just going to always be trying to do my best.
That's good. That's good, Missy. That's good. So with that, being in your field mm-hmm. and being such a strong Christian at yourself, mm-hmm. does like the secular world ever provide challenges for you at all?
Not necessarily. I'm gonna be honest. I really feel like the big thing about being single and a Christian is people just don't want you to be having sex out of wedlock. When it all comes down to it, you can say a cuss word. You could be just having a gluttonous life out here doing whatever. As long as you're keeping it tight and your legs crossed, ain't nobody gonna bother you. So that's kind of like the main thing, like just trying to make sure you keep that intact, because, honey, they going to get you on that one. Absolutely. Outside of that, I really don't think they be worried too much.
You're right.
See, that's the married people. See, y'all safe. Ain't nobody going to ask you.
Right.
Who is that? Can't post nobody. The next man you see me post, I'm going to have one of these, and it's going to be for real.
Okay.
If you know anybody, single like a dollar bill.
Okay. So, as we have followed you on social media, you recently just bought a home.
I did.
You're a new homeowner.
I am.
So do you have any suggestions on these 20, 30-year-old somethings out there preparing to buy a home?
I'll say this. I wasn't really planning to buy a home. However, I had reached a place where I was just mindful of my financial status.
Okay.
Because my thing is, girls are usually groomed to believe you're going to meet this guy, you're going to get married, and you guys are going to do all these things together. Yeah. And the reality is not that might not happen. It might not happen based on your timeline of when you wanted to do things. So I started thinking like, you know what? I need to make sure my credit score is right. I need to make sure, I'm putting myself in a position to be self-sufficient. If that, my Boaz don't show up or show up a little bit later.
Right.
So I wasn't planning to buy a house, but I was doing other things, putting myself in a position financially. So when the opportunity came, I was able to buy a home.
Got it.
But what I would say is get your house in order. I mean, your finances, but really mentally, physically, be very aware of what you want. Don't settle. Get you a good realtor and a good lender. Know what your credit report looks like. Take advantage of all those first-time home buyer programs. I took advantage of a program that lowered my interest rate. Honey, listen.
Wow.
Life is good.
Wow.
And saving so much money renting from when I was renting to my mortgage. I bought my house on January 2nd. I still haven't paid my first mortgage payment. Where you going to go when you ain't paid them yet?
Wow.
Okay, buy you a house.
Yes.
Find you an area that's growing. I found me an area that's kind of on track to kind of get some booming in the area. So I made sure that I was, mindful of the side of town I wanted to be on. I didn't buy too much house. I wanted to make sure it was a mortgage. I knew that if something was to happen, and if it's all said and done, I got to go to Target and give me a little job.
Right.
I'm able to do that and still pay my mortgage and don't have to be stressing out my mom and my sister.
For you.
So just make sure you buy enough house for you, something you can grow into. Don't get caught up in, you need to be over here. Well, why ain't you buy over there? Well, why did you get that kind of house? Get the kind of house that you want. Your name is on it. And you going to pay the mortgage.
Yes, ma'am.
So get what you want.
Absolutely. So, Missy, where do you think you'll be? Where do you see yourself in 5 years?
So that's like my least favorite question.
I'm sorry, but
only because you get to a point where because we just kind of talked about this. You get to a point where you plan and you think you know what's going to happen. And then the Lord be like, you're not going to do that.
No.
So I really would like to be married. I would like to have a child. I would like to have a family. That's definitely something that's kind of high on my list as to, what would be next for me. I now own a home. So, that was on the list. I would like to do more travel. There's lots of places I want to go to, and I've been doing a lot more of that, traveling and just kind of putting myself first. I want to do a lot more self-care stuff. Give me a little facial, get some more pedicures, get some more massages, do that stuff more often.
Got it.
And just create more memories.
That's good.
But the family. Come on, Jesus.
Yes. Yes.
That's what I would like. Tamron Hall just went public today. She 48.
I know.
Pregnant with her first baby, about to turn 49.
Looking
There's
good.
still time.
Yes.
But I don't want to wait that long.
Okay.
But I'm happy with my portion. If the Lord say that's what I'm going to do, that's cool. But I'm just saying.
Okay.
I think.
Okay. Well, do you think you'll be on TV?
I think.
Are we still possibly TV,
Anything is possible.
Absolutely right. You're right.
And I'm open, but I don't know. I'm open, but I don't know. I do know this. I think God is doing something.
Yes, absolutely.
I think he's doing something. I don't know what it is. See, I normally feel like I be knowing, but this one I don't know. But I feel like I'm getting ready for something. I don't know what it is, but whatever it is, I'm going to be ready. Yes. And if it's TV, I've been ready for that.
That's good.
Whatever it is, I'm going to be ready.
We're ready too.
If somebody looking for somebody to be on TV, just let me know.
Yes, very good. So do you have any events or anything you want to do, any kind of shout outs before we end this live today that are coming up? Anything that you could talk about? I know a lot of things are secretive, but anything that you could give us?
I do have some events coming up.
Okay.
But off the top of my head, I just can't.
Nope, that's fine.
Can't give you the date
That's
right
fine
now.
too.
I am doing a Mother's Day brunch. Okay. It's the 3rd annual Mother's Day brunch with Shayna Sturgis.
Yes.
And I did it last year. It was amazing. It'll be around Mother's Day, so I'll be posting about that. Tickets are available right now.
Very good. It
was a blessing. So if you're looking for something to do, take your mom, your auntie, a mother figure, your daughter, somebody. That's something I have coming up. Stellars later on this month. I'm taking my mom. Ooh. So she's going to be with me on the carpet. And that's my other thing. Just really trying to create more memories with my mom. I have a couple of friends who lost their mothers early in life, and just a lot of death happening, unexpected stuff, folks in the hospital, and just dropping left and right. And so I'm really mindful of that as well. So trying to find different things that I can do with her. So stay tuned, because that's going to be funny. I'm going to have her on the carpet in some flats, getting her life.
So if anybody that doesn't know, her mother, Miss Debbie Bates Rick is an amazing human being. I'm going to have her on here one day because her testimony, I went to an event and they had vendors out in the front and you had to pass the vendors to go to the actual event, and I saw Miss Debbie and I hugged on her and loved on her. And she started giving me a little bit of tidbit of her testimony. And mind you, the girlfriend had a full beat face. And by the time I left her, I'm like, Miss Debbie, you're an inspiration. She's amazing. This woman is an amazing...
She's a mom to all. Anybody in Columbus knows Debbie Bates, and if you know her, you love her. Yeah. And I share her with everybody because she is just to be shared.
Yeah. And her line, her product line?
Fruit of the Spirit Body Oils. You can go to her website, fruitofthespiritbodyoils.com. She sells organic products, organic soaps for all skin types, massage oil candles. So that means you light the candle and some soy oil comes to the top. You can extract it, rub it on your hands, on your feet. Honey, you know that winter time will get you where you have that ash right here. It'll take care of all of that.
Yes. She just parties.
Deep sea salt scrubs.
Yes.
And yes, now she's doing the Fruit of the Spirit Body Oils experience. So you can host a party. The host gets a prize. And have a couple of your girlfriends over. Make sure you go check her out. She's an entrepreneur, retired, living her best life.
Yes,
So a seed.
Absolutely. So how can we follow you on social media?
Missy B Live on Instagram, Missy B_live on Twitter, MissyBLive.com is my website.
Very good.
And you can catch me Saturday nights on Joy 107.1, 7 to 11 p.m. and on Sundays, 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. on Joy 107.1.
Very good. Very good. Missy, this was great.
And I'm going to have her on my podcast. So stay tuned.
All right. Thank you so much.